like a circus out there. People running around, nobody really knows what they're doing. As I said, it's like a monkey show. I don't see how we can ever change the direction we're going unless there is some type of mass epiphany. We're not going to get it from any type of political rhetoric or any type of political action. The whole political system is corrupt. So there is no remedy in that arena that will ever be found. The only remedy that will be found is when people are prepared to change what's in their hearts. And frankly, I don't see enough people doing that. I mean, it's just a sad reality to have to face, but it is a reality. And the best thing anybody can do, I would suggest, is to be the best person they can be, to establish good relations with people around them so that they have that support group to be able to get through what is coming. And there's still a lot of good people in the world, folks, for all of the terrible stuff that's happening, for all of the infiltration of the truth movement, for all the infiltration into these activist movements. There's still good people. The problem is that we're looking for some sort of external savior, some sort of external source. We join these activist movements because we think the movement itself is going to bring about change. But really, as I said, it's the personal actions, the little things that we can each do every day in our own lives that makes the difference. Another thing is people's craving for information. More and more information. People want to know everything about everything, and they seem to want information. The information life can give them more than the wisdom that life can give them. And that's an important factor as well. The problem is that people are so lost and so disconnected from themselves that they look for gratification in these things. This is the crux of the whole thing, folks. This is the key to the whole problem, the loss of self. The fact that people are so disconnected from each other because they're so disconnected from themselves, that's why I've often said if we could just respect ourselves enough, we would find that respect for other people comes by default once that point happens. Once you get to that point of self-respect, once you really know yourself and really know what this human experience is, you see all the barriers that you thought existed between you and other people just simply fall away. And it gets very frustrating to see this type of a situation that we've sort of got ourselves into, whereby we're very often simply unable to communicate with each other because we don't know ourselves enough. We don't know how to express ourselves in the right way. And so many people are offended by little things. They have these little scenarios in their mind of how certain social situations should work for them, and if they don't work in that way, or they don't flow the way they want them to, they get offended, they get withdrawn, they sit there and pout because they have a stake in the outcome. They have a stake in the outcome of everything they say. We've got a situation where everybody's had everything taken from them, so everybody has this desperate need to be heard now. This desperate need to do something, to have some form of value, to get enough likes on Instagram, to get enough likes on Facebook, to have some value in the virtual world, because they don't feel like they have value in the real world. And that's the situation that we've got. People's need to have value, people's need to be heard, and everyone wanting to clamber to the top of the pile to establish themselves and have their 2 cents worth and throw it in the pot and act like it means something. Too many people are simply not prepared to step back a little bit and just take in the bigger picture and see what's really happening here. Unfortunately, most people are simply lost. Most people are looking for something and they're not even sure what it is they're looking for. You really do see why the world is in the state that it's in, and why people are just running around with like chickens with their heads cut off, banging into each other, all attempting to get their voices heard above the cacophony of everybody else. You see exactly why this is. Many of them don't realize that the place that they're looking for is the journey itself, and they're missing out on the journey because they're so focused on what the outcome of the journey will be. Life is what happens while you're planning other things, and it's really important to take that into account. That the important part about it is the journey. It's the moments that you're experiencing every day. This is the place that you're looking for, and very often we're missing out on that place because we think that place exists at the end of the path. We don't realize that the path we're on is the place. There is no other place. There is no place you're going to get to. There is no place of enlightenment. It's the journey itself, and it's what you do with the information that comes to you along the way. But most people have this focal point of what life should be once they've made it, in inverted commas. But what is making it? Making it really is discovering yourself, and that is what life is about, and that is the most important part of life, and that is the most important part of the journey. That is the journey. Life is a journey of self-discovery. There's nothing else to it, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter about all the stuff that you collect along the way. It doesn't matter what image you think you've built for yourself. It doesn't matter whether you've built yourself up to be a pop star or this or that. What about you? What have you discovered about you? And what have you gotten from the journey? What do you have to offer other people to help them discover themselves? I mean, there's so much more to this than what we're given to believe, ladies and gentlemen. The entire journey of life is a journey of self-discovery.